What's good? It's your Jason Amethyst or Joey, and yeah, it's been a pretty long while since I actually uploaded. The reason for that is because I was working on this. It is a Sprunky animated music video that I think is gonna get little to no views, but I did it out of passion anyway, because I think Sprunky is kind of interesting. So, yeah, I found out what Sprunky is in like early November, I think, of last year, 2024. It was a time when I was going with my dad to do like door dashing and stuff. I also became a pretty big like MCR fan. Then like the Black Parade album, I was really starting to get into that. Like during that, and I'm really getting into MCR now. So that's kind of cool. I'm also starting listening to Killers and stuff. Like the people who made Mr. Brightside. But anyways, that's off topic a little bit. But yeah, I've been working on this for like. I'm not gonna swear. Okay, I will say this. I usually do swear, but for the sake of kids probably watching this, I'm gonna try and stop swearing. But if I do swear, I'll just take it out. But I've been working on this for dang near almost 3 whole months, and this was the most. This single thing right here was the most time-consuming and frustrating thing I ever had to deal with on my YouTube channel so far. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot more struggling stuff on here, but there's been several times where this almost didn't happen, and I thought it was never gonna get finished. Like, I thought I was gonna keep, like, procrastinating on it and all that. But yeah. This took a. It felt forever. It felt like it was gonna take forever to get through this. But after looking through the finished product, I will say there are some noticeable errors that I wish I could have fixed. Like, oh, I wish I could have done this, or I wish I could have done that. But in the end, it is pretty solid, I think. And especially that ending fight scene. I was kind of surprised with how that animation turned out. And the reason why I'm surprised by it is because when I was making the animation, I'll explain the process later on in the video, but basically I couldn't exactly watch the video without it glitching. So when I was like editing the video, like putting all the pieces together, and it was very difficult to put the pieces together. A little FNAF reference there, if you know. Yeah, so when I was editing it all together and like having like the characters move around and the backgrounds and elements move around and stuff, they would move so fast on screen that it would just glitch the video. But I knew the video itself wasn't glitched. It's just I made all of this on my crappy little like Galaxy Samsung phone. All of this was made on my phone. No surprises there, judging by the quality of it. But yeah, I mean, who would draw this low quality on computer, right? This is only something that mobile users would deal with. Rest in peace, me. Yeah, it was very difficult to put the pieces together. I can't stop saying it. Oh my god. It's that freaking Mimic song is stuck in my head now, and the internet has ruined me, chat. The internet has ruined me. Yeah. What was I getting to? Frick. I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, yeah, so, it kept glitching. So, like, the video for me, when I was editing it, because of all, like, the elements were all, like, all that data was, like, stored in, like, that one little, like, timeline or whatever when I was editing it on my crappy little phone right here, the video glitched for me, even though I knew the finished result wasn't going to be glitched. Because otherwise I wouldn't continue it if I knew the video was actually glitched, but I know how the editing app I use works. So like when you're editing your video and there's like a lot of like elements moving around and stuff, a lot of edits and stuff, and like within like half a second moving at once, as you can see here. See all this? Look at how fast everything's moving right now on screen. I could not I knew this wasn't glitched like in the end result because otherwise I wouldn't continue it and there'll be no point. Otherwise I don't want the video to look glitched in the end. But for me, when I was editing it in the timeline, it looked glitched because, like, it looked glitched and I couldn't, like, play through the video, so it would just, like, skip here, pause, buffer a little bit, then suddenly be at another scene, pause, skip randomly. It looked very janky, so I couldn't really get a proper, like, grasp on what the actual finished product looked like, so I kind of just hoped it was gonna look half decent by the time I got this finished, so I never could really see what the end result of the animation was gonna look like until it came out, and then the ending fight scene kind of surprised me with how fast it actually was. I didn't think it was gonna be that fast. I was hoping it was gonna be as fast as it was, but I didn't think it was going to be, because I just had a sense of me telling me, like, if you make things too fast, there's gonna be a bunch of errors, a bunch of, like, these, like, PNG things are not gonna move around that much. Yeah. So before I show you how all of it works, and how I actually made it and edited it all together, and how complicated it actually is, well, not complicated, but very time-consuming at least, I will, describe it for you. So, imagine, okay, so here are the apps I used for this project. VLLO, which is kind of like KineMaster, but without the watermark. It's completely free. You just watch a bunch of ads to actually get it to work, and it's actually it's the most helpful, like, editing tool I've used, and it's pretty efficient, like, almost too efficient for mobile. Some gacha YouTubers use it, and I also plan to... I've been using VLLO for pretty much all my projects ever since my first ever FNAF plush movie, which was 5 hours and 5 minutes long, by the way, and it's called, Villains with Desires. It was the 200th episode. Anyways, enough of that, but, yeah, basically, so yeah, I use VLLO here. Then I also use IBIS Paint X, which I use to, draw the characters in the backgrounds and stuff. And for some of the characters, whenever I want to use the same character moving in different areas and stuff, so it can, like, look actually animated and not just like a still piece of art, you may notice on some of them there is this very faint, like, blue or green outline, and that means that they're green screened or blue screened, and then they are edited on top of a little background set I made for the scene. And then I had to, like, move the character or the objects around really fast. Okay, see that blood rain right there? That is green screened, but Winda isn't. Okay, this is regular. This is main IBIS. This is still IBIS. Okay, watch this. Okay, that sudden movement, Simon moving right there, that is layered on top of everything else. So everything else is in the background, including Brud, but everything that moves a lot and still looks the same as it moves is green screened. So, having that context said, you can imagine how time-consuming the window shattering might have been. Yeah. Tuner gets headshot. Winda looks creepy with her one little eye staring at Pinky. Yes, that is the frickin' Peach meme. I don't know why I did that, I just wanted to goof around a bit, be funny. Peach, you're so cool. There's Veneria, and there's, Jevin, stealing Gray to save him. And no, I will not be doing a lore analysis for this, because I want people to solve it on their own. And this is my AU of Sprunky, so yay. But yeah, that right there that you see right now, that is a major hint to what's going on. I will give one hint, though. It's a very big one, okay? Of what's going on in the video. Fallen Angel. Pretty self-explanatory, kinda obvious, but yeah. I think those two words just kind of describe the whole thing. Yeah, so this took a long time. well, it felt like a long time, but it was really only like 3 months. But 3 months is a pretty long time for my channel. I don't think there's ever been a 3 month long gap between uploads on my channel because I really try and upload as consistent as I can, and I have been since like 2020 when this channel started, and I'm still gonna be uploading consistently until whenever the whole thing ends, you know, when this thing shuts down. I don't know when that is, but hopefully a very long time from now. I feel like we're just getting started, and we are just getting into the thick of it. Yeah, I got some projects down the line. I'll explain those in a little bit. I'm gonna be making a direct soon, where I'm gonna be, like, talking about my future projects and all that. But yeah, I started this in November, came out right at the end of January. Hoped, like, when I was, like, first making it, when I first came up with the idea, it was like, hey, I can make a Sprinky video, just make some views and all that. This is before I found out about the whole, like, 9-co BF lol situation thing, and then I pulled a 180, and then I, like, went like, oh, I actually feel bad about this. I know, what if I continue this project, but I actually put a lot of respect into it because I'm actually starting to unironically like this thing now. So yeah, but yeah, it started in November, around the middle of November it was at the very beginning of the animation. I think it was like around when Window was just entering Gray's house in the very beginning. I decided I was gonna continue this with a better purpose than what it originally was gonna be. I do apologize that my original intention for this was just to make some quick views for people to get hyped with my upcoming stuff, but hey, whatever, you live and learn, you know? But yeah, I hoped, and I was expecting for me to, like, quickly finish this, like, within a week. I'm not even kidding. I thought I was gonna get this done in 1 week, and I legit thought this project was gonna be the least tedious thing and least thing I would ever work on or pay attention to on my entire YouTube channel, and I would just forget about it afterwards. But then it became the most tedious project I ever made on my channel. The irony is so real, chat. The irony is so real. I've done other music videos before. 3 others, in fact. My first one, it was a FNAF plush video, and it's a cancelled series now. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Cancelled series. It was originally gonna be like a series about William Afton in hell and stuff like that, like encountering Cassidy and all that, but I just canceled it because I was like, I don't want to do this. I just want to move on to other stuff now. And yeah, I just left it at the first part, and that's all there's ever gonna be. It was promised to be 4 parts, but you know, I just gave that up because these other things I got working on behind the scenes right now are way more important than that. I'm moving past the FNAF plush phase. Well, not phase. Well, yeah. Wait, what the hell? I'm moving. It's not a phase. It's not a phase, Mom. Ah! Yeah. I'm moving past the FNAF plush stuff. And I'm making more original content because I don't actually make stuff myself, but yeah. I made our music videos. So the first one was a FNAF plush thing, originally part of a series, but became the only one. It's a lone solo thing now. And it is, for the song Hearts and Stars by Cage9. I don't think many people know about it. I mean, it probably is relatively popular, but, like, in the indie side of music, because, like, it was featured in one of, like, the off-road dirt bike games and stuff that were on, like, the Xbox 360 and stuff, like, in the 2000s, or PlayStation 2. I used to play that game all the time. It was awesome. I want to play it again, but unfortunately my Xbox 360 kind of isn't working right now, but it's, like, actually 10 years old now. No, it's 9 years old, actually, sorry, but about 10 years old. Yeah. It's freaking crazy, but yeah, so, like, the first music video, you can check it out right now if you want to. It's in the music videos, like, like playlist wherever you can find it on my channel. I don't know where. I have a lot of playlists. It's gonna be hard to find it, but yeah, it was basically about Afton going through hell, escaping Cassidy, all the animatronics come after him for revenge, blah blah blah. It's pretty low quality because like most of it is just like filmed around like my older room that was like outside from the house. It was like a homemade built cabin that I used to live in for a while, like 10 feet away from my house's garage, but like just recently, like December actually, like a month ago, I moved back into my old room, and I updated it. I upgraded it massively, so yay. So that means I started Sprunky like while I was still in the cabin, but I moved back in my old room as a kid, like the room I used to be in as a kid growing up in the actual house, like halfway through the production of Sprunky. Or just over halfway, actually, but yeah. Yeah, so there's that one. Then the one that I made after that is for the song Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. And it is about Vanny, Vanessa becoming Vanny, and how Glitchtrap is like taking over her and stuff like that and making her become Vanny. It's kind of cool. Probably the slowest of them all. Like, I think the editing in that one is better than Hearts and Stars overall, but it's slower paced a little bit more than Hearts and Stars. But both of those plush videos are not as impressive as I thought Alive was when I made it. And Alive is very special to me because like that's my third music video, by the way. That came after Bring Me Alive. Okay, so Alive. Alive is not a FNAF plush music video, but it is a FNAF music video. And it was the first animated, like, music video I made using the way I made Sprunky. But I didn't use green screen effects for it. All of it was just made, like, redrawing, like, on the same, like, canvases and, like, stuff like that. So that's why it looks a little choppy here and there. And pretty slow-paced. And initially, I was pretty impressed with it. It came out, I made it, and it came out, like, when the FNAF movie was coming out, I think, like, in late 2023, October. And, I was impressed with it at the time. Now, looking back at it now, I was like, yeah, okay, this is not the greatest thing on, like, compared to, like, other, like, animations you see on YouTube, I am not great at all. I'm just starting animation. Like, Sprunky here, like Sprunky, what we're watching right now right here, it is far from perfect or perfection or anything like that, and I wish it looked a lot better, but you can only deal with the technology you got right now. But Alive, it is, okay, so Alive, it is a song by Aviators, not the Night Cove the Fox Alive, the Aviators Alive. I love that song, and it's one of those FNAF songs that if like a normie just listened to it, they wouldn't even know it's a FNAF song. And I love fandom songs that do that. Like, you can listen to a fandom song and you have no idea it's XYZ fandom related. I like songs like that. And my mom actually likes it. Like, I played it for her one time, and okay, so my mom does like a local in-town like DJ like goth night stuff. Like, she hosts like goth like DJ gigs and stuff like that with her with her pretty average like DJ like setup. It's nothing like Steve Aoki-ish or whatever, or Marshmallow or whatever, but it's like a average, like, she just has her laptop, gets a little gets some speakers, has a little like a control box that has all like the volume switches on it, and that's really it. But yeah, she hosts like goth nights, the witching hour, and she actually played Alive by Aviators, and she actually plays it frequently at her goth nights, which I think is actually kind of cool. Like she's not just like saying like, oh, I like the song just because she wants me to feel good or whatever. She actually unironically likes it, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and also speaking of my mom, I also like showed her Murder Drones a couple weeks ago, and she actually thought it was pretty interesting. So that's pretty nice. My mom is actually pretty interested in indie fandoms and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. it's not exactly her taste, but she's interested enough to actually watch them with me, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we were watching Murder Jones like the weekend. Like no, it was a Tuesday. Yeah, it's like the most recent Tuesday from whenever this video was uploaded at. Holy crap, I just looked at the time and we're like 20 minutes into the video. Oh my god, I felt like I was only talking for like 5 minutes, and I still got some other topics to talk about for this. Oh my god, I guess we're gonna be here. This really is a documentary then. Oh wow, round of applause. Round of applause. Um, so Alive is pretty interesting. It's an animation that is basically a fan-made sequel to that one Just Gold animation by Sugar. If you guys remember that. If you're OGs, you remember that video. It was the song Just Gold by Mando Pony. Don't support that guy whatsoever. You don't want to know what he did, trust me, but you don't want to support that guy. But anyways, the song Just Gold, it was in Sugar's animated music video to like it was like a night guard trying to survive like Springtrap and stuff like that in Freddy Fazbear's. She gets caught by like Golden Freddy, who's like controlling Springtrap. It was like AU lore and stuff like that. It's far from canon. It's like stuff we would have thought was canon back then, because it was like made in like the primitive days of FNAF, like only when like the first 3 games were out. But yeah, the story aged like milk, but I like aged like milk stories because it shows how far we come, and like it shows nostalgia for like the way we used to interpret like fandoms like FNAF back then. Yeah. So what Alive is about, it's a fan-made sequel to that. It's a fan-made sequel to Alive's Just... Wait, what the frick? It's a fan-made Alive is a fan-made sequel to Sugar's Just Gold animation. And, it's basically about like we're just gonna call the Night Guard Sugar, because I'm guessing that's like a self-insert OC for that. But, so, Sugar the Night Guard basically went missing after the events of her animation. Because if you remember from that, she gets turned into like a red fox animatronic that kind of looks like Foxy a little bit. So, in my animated, like, fan-made sequel to that, one of her friends, who is a self-insert of my human OC, goes into the sister location with a flashlight and is being stalked by Ennard. And I purposely made it so, like, Ennard is a separate entity or separate animatronic from the Fun Times and animation that I made, because I wanted it to feel like the nostalgia of, like, inaccurate lore that we had as, like, kids or whatever. Like, I of course know in the FNAF lore that Ennard is the Funtime animatronics combined into one, so, if you're really trying to take my animated music video, like, for lore context of FNAF, it wouldn't equate at all to the actual lore of FNAF. It was just for funsies, you know? No funsies. Yeah, so, my OC gets stalked by Ennard, then has to escape the animatronics, finds Springtrap, well, gets caught by Springtrap, and then, reunites with her friend, who is the Fox animatronic, and activates the scooper on her. If you want to see that animation, just go check it out. I kind of spoiled it all for you. Sorry, not sorry, but whatever. And then, the 4th animation. This. Sprunky. No explanation needed. We're here. You know what this is about. And I do probably have a 5th animation coming up next year or the year after. It's a concept right now, so I'm not sure if this will be the one, or if I will even make a music video. I don't know, because you never know what can happen in the future. But I do have a pretty good concept right now, and, if you watch My Little Pony, for all the little bronies watching this right now, for My Little Pony, you know the Friendship is Magic. You know in Season 9 when, like, Chrysalis, Tyrek, and, Cozy Glow are all, like, hiding in the cave, they're all, like, coming together, and then they actually start bonding as a team, but then last second, the producers of the show, Hasbro, were like, no, we're not gonna make them, like, reform into good guys. That would be a cool lesson, but no, they're gonna stay evil baddies. I'm making a concept of what if Chrysalis reformed after, like, entrusting Tyrek with her powers when they're entering that cave. If you know, you know. And I'm gonna have that. It's like gonna be like Chrysalis reforming into like her changed like better self. And it's gonna be to the song by The Killers, All These Things That I've Done. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. That one. I think it's pretty fitting, and it's something that I actually can imagine would happen in the show, and it's a song that I could also imagine being in the show too. May not be as like lighthearted as like the other like My Little Pony songs or whatever, but it's fitting for the villains. It's fitting for the villain song that villains are reforming, and I think the idea of like Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Cozy Glow reforming or like turning into good guys was missed opportunity. I know, you're gonna pull the "We're Not Flawless" thing on me. Well, let's face it. Just because something isn't perfect in the show doesn't mean it's good, you know? Like, okay, I get it, the show has flaws, but I thought it would be cool to see! During the time, I don't know if this Sprunky animation had anything to do with it, probably not, but during the whole duration of time that this was being animated for, I had like a major mental switch. So I'm not gonna get into nitty-gritty of it. I'm gonna kind of gloss over this stuff because it's stuff I don't want to talk about because it involves other like friends and stuff who I made friends, I lost friends. I'm not gonna get into specifics because you know I don't want them to make them look bad. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like because like if I had like an ex-friend to like talking bad about me in their like video or whatever, I wouldn't like that. So at least I'm being civil enough to not do that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I kind of lost some friends. I knew two of them for a while. One of them I still see, I just kind of ignore. The other one hates me. And I'm just kind of done with them too, to be honest. Just gonna move on with my life. So yeah. People can think what they want about me, but whatever, you know what I mean? Let's just move on. So, like, it started in, like, November, like, I think it was, like, before I even started making this animation, but, yeah, I had some, like, pretty bad thoughts. I was like, oh, everyone's looking at me, everyone's patronizing me, everyone's, like, seeing me in these ways, everyone's judging my autism, everyone's judging everything about me. Some kids are, like, secretly bullying me when they're really just casually talking to me, you know, that kind of stuff. And then by, like, I'm still trying to get through this now, but I'm doing a lot better than before, but, like, now I realize that what people think about me doesn't matter in the slightest. I'm just gonna do my own thing, and if people, like, come up to me and be, like, I'm gonna swear here, but apologies, but I feel like it's fitting. If they're gonna be an ass to me, then so what? That's their problem, you know? It's their problem for being a to me, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do anything to you, so, like, if you're gonna pick on me, then I'm just gonna ignore you, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, in, like, November, I would cry about, well, not actually cry, but I would, like, not get sleep or whatever from overthinking about stuff like that, but now I'm like, whatever, people are gonna be people, you know what I mean? Don't let that stop you. And I, recently dropped a pretty bad habit I was having, with, like, social and stuff like that. Like, I think it might have been one of the reasons why my ex-friends, like, stopped being friends with me, uh, I would, kind of, like, over, like, I would go a bit extravagant when, like, if, like, someone was, like, saying, yeah, we can't be friends anymore, or whatever, I would kind of, like, just try and, like, fight my way back to, like, gain their trust again, like, no, I'm a good person, see, I'm okay, I'm not an egocentric, I'm chill. No, I'm not XYZ, I'm not this thing you think of me that I totally am not, no, couldn't be me, but now I'm just like, I don't care, I'm gonna block you now. Like, now I'm just not even gonna respond to anyone who, like, I'm not gonna, like, okay, a legit friend of you wouldn't do that. What a real friend would do is, like, try and talk the situation out with you and help you out, and not just, like, call you names and, like, just, like, spread a bunch of hate about you and all that stuff, you know? So, like, I had the habit of wasting my time to argue my side of the story of why I think they should still be friends with me, when really I should have realized a lot sooner that it doesn't even matter. If people don't like me, they don't like me. We can just block each other and move on. TLDR. Used to have a lot of grudges with people. Now I don't got any. Anyway, we're just gonna move on to the actual visual process of how I actually do this. Alright, so here is how I made Sprunky, but I'm not gonna be really using Sprunky. I'm gonna be using a different kind of video thing, like a new video as an example. So what you're gonna see isn't gonna be me editing Sprunky itself, it's gonna be me editing like a random video as an example. So yeah, here it is. Alright, so we got VLLO and IBIX Paint there. I made a recording of this just before, but for some reason the video of me screen recording this decided to glitch out, and now I gotta do it all again. So we go into IBIX Paint. I'm gonna gloss over this really quickly, by the way, so yeah. Okay, so this is your background. You wanna draw a background, any background, this will work. And you exit the app and go into VLLO, and you would press new project. You can make any, size and all that and stuff like that, but you know, let's just make a new project. So you take your background, you put it in here, and there it is, boom. But let's say you don't want this background and you want to have more backgrounds as you go along. Well, problem solved. You can just take this and boop, it's out. You just swipe it under and it's out of camera view. Now you can use now you can put the image back in by maybe you want to have this one instead. You can resize it up to there. Perfect. Beautiful. And maybe you want to have a different one in there too. So you just take the art background, and then resize that one up, and boom, you got a consistent background that's right there with the sun changing. Now we're going to add the character in. So basically you want to draw a bunch of body parts separated from each other, so like the head, body, and limbs. Then you want to take individual screenshots of each body part with a solid color background on it. And you want to make sure your character does not have any colors that match the background, because if you know how green screening works, if you green screen the background and there's a color of that same color on your character, that body part of your character will go invisible. So after screenshotting every single body part and cropping them to make sure it's just the red background that is behind them, you press image and you can like insert the parts in as separate images and resize them to however you want. Then you go to here, you go to Chrome key, do this. I usually like to set it to 80. So like 80/80, this is usually going to give you best results. Maybe a faint outline, but not bad. So there's your head, and I'll add in the rest of the body parts. Everything else is self-explanatory. Oh yeah, if you want to make the animation look really fast somewhere, you just dial that down to like there, but for sake of simplicity, we're going to add it to there. And you can drag it around wherever, size it up however, turn it however, blah blah blah. Now you do that same process until all the limbs are in place. So you do this, size that down a bit, maybe do this. And also, this is normal. If a body part is supposed to be behind something but it's on top of it instead, you can go here to arrangement, put that under the head, and boom, you got that thing going on. Now let's make a little animation of it. Chop this bit off. Now this is the fun part. You take this, look at the bottom hotbar, duplicate, so it's the exact same thing, and you can move it slightly. And you can also duplicate this, and also move it slightly. So now you have a little animated piece right there, and that's exactly how I made Black Sheep. The end.